Welcome to Cosmo Publishing. You just tuned yourself to the coolest place to learn all about self-publishing. We are a turnkey quality service provider, from interior formatting to custom covers and everything in between, including book marketing and advertising. It is the company that books a lot.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cosmo Publishing Podcast, where we focus on building author careers that last, not just launches that flash and disappear. I'm your host, Gürhan, co-founder of Cosmo Publishing and Cosmodio Books. Over the years, we've worked with authors across genres, platforms, and stages, and one truth keeps repeating itself. The authors who build mailing lists build stability. So, let's talk about why email is still the most powerful tool authors have. But just to make an important note, this is email marketing for Authors 101, not a detailed course. Email marketing often sounds outdated or intimidating. Many authors think of spam, sales pressure, or inbox overload. Some avoid it entirely because they don't want to annoy readers. Others assume they need thousands of subscribers before email becomes useful. Today's episode is about clearing all of that up. Email is not about blasting promotions. It's about permission. Someone gives you access to their inbox, one of the most personal digital spaces they have. That choice signals trust. And trust is the foundation of every book sale that feels natural instead of forced. Social media is loud and temporary. Algorithms change, reach fluctuates, and posts disappear within hours. Email is quiet and durable. When someone joins your mailing list, you own that connection. No platform can take it away, throttle it, or hide it. This does not mean email replaces social media. It supports it. Social platforms help readers discover you. Email helps them stay connected. Many authors delay starting a mailing list because they think they have nothing to say, no audience, or no reason to email yet. In reality, the best time to start is before you feel ready. Email lists grow slowly at first, and that is exactly how they should grow. In this episode, we are going to talk about email in a way that feels manageable and human. We will strip away jargon and pressure. You will learn what an author mailing list really is, how to start one from zero, what to send without feeling salesy, and how email quietly becomes one of the strongest tools for selling books over time. You will hear real author examples, including writers who sold more books with a list of 200 people than others with thousands of followers. You will also learn why unsubscribes are not failures, why silence is normal, and why consistency matters more than frequency. By the end of this episode, email marketing should feel less like a marketing tactic and more like a private conversation between you and readers who chose to hear from you. Let's start by understanding what an author mailing list actually is and what it is not. So, the important question, what is an author mailing list anyway? An author mailing list is not a crowd. It is not a popularity metric. It is a group of people who raised their hand and said, I want to hear from you again. That distinction matters. Followers follow casually. Subscribers commit intentionally. When someone joins your mailing list, they are not just interested in your book. They are interested in your voice, your perspective, and your future work. This is why mailing lists are so powerful, even when they are small. A list of 100 engaged subscribers is more valuable than 10,000 social media followers who scroll past your posts. Email lists reward depth, not reach. Another important difference is ownership. When you build a mailing list, you control it. You are not dependent on algorithms, trending formats, or platform rules. You decide when to show up, what to say, and how often to communicate. Think of social media as renting space and email as owning your home. Renting is fine, but ownership creates stability. Many authors assume their mailing list must be used constantly to justify its existence. This leads to pressure and over-emailing. In reality, a mailing list exists to support key moments, book launches, announcements, reflections, and long-term connection. Silence between emails is not failure. It is normal. A healthy mailing list is built on clarity. Subscribers should know what they are signing up for. Not surprises, not pressure, not constant sales, just honest communication. One author we worked with resisted email for years. She relied entirely on Instagram. When her reach dropped suddenly, her book sales followed. She finally started a mailing list, slowly and cautiously. Within a year, her email list became her most reliable source of sales, even though it was small. She no longer worried about algorithm changes because her connection with readers was direct. Email also supports emotional safety for authors. Unlike public platforms, email is private. There are no comments to manage, no numbers to compare, no performance pressure. You write, you send, and readers receive it quietly. This privacy allows many authors to communicate more honestly. They share reflections they would never post publicly. Readers respond with messages instead of likes. That depth builds loyalty. It is also important to understand that email does not sell aggressively. It sells through familiarity. When readers hear from you consistently, even infrequently, your name stays present. When you release a book, the announcement does not feel intrusive. It feels expected. An author's mailing list is not about extracting value from readers. It is about building a long-term relationship where value flows both ways. Once you understand that, email stops feeling intimidating. It becomes supportive. In the next section, we'll talk about how to start your mailing list from zero, without tech overwhelm, complicated setups, or unrealistic expectations. Another good question is, how do you start your mailing list from zero? Starting a mailing list from zero can feel strangely vulnerable. There is a moment where you set everything up, look at the empty subscriber count, and wonder if anyone will ever sign up. That feeling is normal, and it's also temporary. Every author with a successful mailing list started at zero. The goal at this stage is not growth, it is foundation. The first step is choosing an email platform, and this is where many authors overthink. You do not need advanced automation, complex funnels, or dozens of templates. You need something simple, reliable, and easy to use. The best platform is the one you will actually log into without dread. Email platforms all do the same basic thing. They collect email addresses, store them safely, and allow you to send messages. You can change platforms later. Nothing is permanent at this stage. What matters is starting. Once you have a platform, you need a way for readers to sign up. This is usually a simple form or link. It does not need to be beautiful. It needs to be clear. Clarity answers one question for the reader. Why should I give you my email address? That answer does not need to be dramatic. It can be as simple as updates about new books, behind the scenes writing notes, or occasional reflections. Readers appreciate honesty far more than hype. One of the biggest mistakes authors make is hiding their sign-up link. They treat it like something to add later after they feel more confident. In reality, your sign-up link should exist everywhere a reader might encounter you. Inside your book, on your website, in your social media bio, in your author profile. This is not aggressive, it is accessible. Inside your book is especially important. A reader who finishes your book is your most qualified potential subscriber. They already invested time. Short note at the end inviting them to stay connected is one of the most effective ways to grow your list. Another common fear is, what if nobody signs up? The truth is, early growth is slow for almost everyone. 1 or 2 subscribers a week is success at the beginning. Those early subscribers are often your most engaged readers because they joined intentionally. One author we worked with felt discouraged after 3 months with only 20 subscribers. But when she launched her next book, those 20 subscribers accounted for more than half of her first week sales. Small lists can be powerful when they are built on trust. It is also important to understand consent. People should always choose to join your list. Never add emails manually without permission. Never import contacts who did not ask to hear from you. This protects both you and your readers. When someone subscribes, they should receive a confirmation or welcome message. This does not need to be long. A simple thank you and a reminder of what they signed up for is enough. This first email sets the tone for everything that follows. At this stage, avoid the urge to email too often. Let subscribers settle in. Build comfort before asking for attention. Email is a long game. Starting your mailing list is less about momentum and more about commitment. You are creating a space where readers can return to you again and again without noise or competition. In the next section, we'll talk about what to offer readers to encourage signups without overproducing or giving away something that doesn't align with your book. What to offer readers to join your list. One of the most common questions authors ask when starting an email list is, what should I offer people to make them sign up? This question often leads to overthinking. Authors imagine they need something big, polished, or time-consuming. In reality, the most effective offers are simple, relevant, and aligned with what the reader already wants. The purpose of an offer is not to impress. It is to create a gentle exchange. The reader gives you their email address, and you give them something that adds value to their reading experience. This is where alignment matters most. Whatever you offer should connect naturally to your book. When the offer and the book feel related, subscribers stay engaged. When they feel disconnected, people unsubscribe quickly. For fiction authors, the most effective offers are extensions of the story world, a short bonus scene, a character backstory, an alternate ending, or a glimpse into what happens next all work well. These do not need to be long. A few pages are enough. What matters is that the reader feels they are getting something meaningful, not filler. For nonfiction authors, practical value performs best. This might be a short guide, a checklist, a worksheet, or a deeper explanation of a concept mentioned in the book. Again, simplicity matters. Readers want clarity, not more homework. Many authors worry about giving too much away. They fear that offering content will reduce book sales. In practice, the opposite is true. A good offer builds trust. It shows readers that you respect their time and attention. That trust often leads to stronger loyalty and future purchases. Another mistake authors make is creating an offer they cannot sustain. A complex multi-chapter guide or ongoing series sounds appealing at first, but it often becomes a burden. Choose something you can create once and feel proud of. One author we worked with offered a single-page letter to readers explaining why she wrote her book and what she hoped readers would take from it. That letter became her most effective sign-up tool. It was personal, honest, and deeply aligned with her voice. Your offer does not need to be flashy. It needs to be clear. When you describe it, avoid marketing language. Say exactly what it is and who it's for. Readers appreciate transparency. It's also important to remember that an offer is optional. Some authors build strong mailing lists without any incentive at all, simply by inviting readers to stay connected. Offers help, but they are not mandatory. Where you present the offer matters. Inside your book is the most effective place. A reader who finishes your book is already invested. A short invitation at the end, paired with a relevant offer, often converts better than any external promotion. Your website and social media profiles are also good places to mention it, but again, gently. Avoid constant reminders. Let it be available rather than pushed. Finally, remember that your offer sets expectations. If you offer something thoughtful and aligned, subscribers will expect your emails to feel the same way. That is a good thing. It keeps your communication honest. In the next section, we'll talk about what to send to your mailing list and how often, so email stays supportive instead of overwhelming. So, let's decide what to send and how often we should send it. Once your mailing list exists and readers have joined, a new question appears. What do I actually send and how often should I send it? This is where many authors freeze, not because they lack ideas, but because they fear bothering people. The truth is simpler than it sounds. People joined your list because they wanted to hear from you. Your job is not to entertain constantly or sell aggressively. Your job is to stay present. Email works best when it feels like a quiet letter, not a broadcast. Readers open emails expecting something personal, thoughtful, or useful. They do not expect perfection. The most effective author emails usually fall into a few natural categories: updates about writing progress, reflections about themes or characters, notes about what inspired a book, announcements about new releases, or recommendations that align with your genre or subject. None of these require long messages. A few honest paragraphs are enough. Tone matters more than structure. Write the way you would speak to a thoughtful reader. Avoid hype. Avoid urgency unless it is genuine. When emails feel calm and respectful, readers stay subscribed longer. Frequency is another area where authors overthink. There is no perfect schedule. Some authors email weekly, others email monthly, some only email around launches. What matters is consistency and expectation. If you tell readers you will email occasionally, do that. If you say monthly, try to stay close to monthly. Readers are comfortable with gaps as long as they understand what to expect. Unsubscribes are part of the process. They are not rejection. People's interests change. Their inboxes get crowded. A small number of unsubscribes after an email is normal and healthy. A list that never shrinks is often a list that is not being used. One author we worked with avoided emailing because she feared losing subscribers. When she finally sent her first email after months of silence, a few people unsubscribed. She felt discouraged until she realized something important. The people who stayed were the ones who wanted to hear from her. Her list became stronger, not weaker. It is also important to resist the urge to apologize in every email. You do not need to explain gaps or justify your presence. Simply show up and share something meaningful. Email does not need visuals, branding, or design. Plain text often performs better because it feels personal. Readers do not want newsletters. They want connection. You are allowed to sell in emails, but selling should feel like an extension of the relationship, not a disruption. When you have built familiarity, mentioning a book feels natural. Readers expect it. In the next section, we'll talk about how email actually sells books, why small lists can outperform large ones, and how to approach selling without discomfort. We are talking about all this, but we really need to understand how email actually sells books. Many authors believe selling through email requires persuasion or pressure. In reality, email sells quietly through trust and familiarity. When readers feel connected to you, buying your book feels like a natural next step, not a decision they need to be convinced of. Email works because it reaches people who already care. These are not strangers scrolling past your content. They are readers who chose to hear from you. That choice changes everything. Selling through email rarely looks like aggressive promotion. It looks like context. You share why the book exists. You explain who it's for. You talk about what readers might gain from it. Then you give them the option to act. This is especially powerful during launches. When you announce a new book to your mailing list, readers are already primed. They know your voice. They understand your themes. The announcement feels like an update, not an advertisement. Even outside of launches, email continues to support sales. A quiet mention of your book at the end of a reflective email often outperforms dedicated sales messages. Readers appreciate reminders, not pressure. Small lists often perform better than large ones because engagement is higher. A list of 200 people who open emails and click links can generate more sales than a list of thousands who rarely engage. Quality matters more than quantity. One author we worked with sold most of her books through email, even though her social media following was modest. She emailed once a month, shared thoughtful reflections, and mentioned her book occasionally. Her readers trusted her. When she asked, they responded. Another important point is longevity. Email does not spike and disappear the way social media does. Emails are read slowly. Links are clicked days or weeks later. Sales trickle in long after the send. This slow burn adds up over time. Email also allows you to sell without algorithms interfering. Every subscriber receives the message. No reach limits, no format changes, no guessing. This does not mean every email should sell. In fact, most emails should not. Selling works best when it is occasional and contextual. Readers need to feel that you value the relationship more than the transaction. When you respect that balance, selling stops feeling uncomfortable. It becomes part of the conversation. In the final section, we'll bring everything together and talk about building a healthy, sustainable email mindset that supports your writing life over the long term. So let's close this podcast by talking about a healthy email mindset for authors. Shall we? As we close this episode, I want you to release the idea that email marketing is something you need to master quickly or perfectly. Email is not about speed. It is about stability. Your mailing list does not need to be large to be meaningful. It needs to be honest. It needs to be clear. And it needs to feel like a place readers are welcome, not managed. When you build an email list slowly, with permission and respect, you create something rare in today's digital space. A direct line to people who chose to hear from you. That choice is powerful. You are allowed to start small. You are allowed to send imperfect emails. You are allowed to take breaks. None of these things diminish the value of your list. Email grows the same way writing careers grow, through consistency, patience, and trust. If you focus on showing up when you have something real to say, your list will grow naturally. If you focus on service rather than selling, sales will follow without friction. Remember that email is not a replacement for writing. It is a bridge between your work and your readers. Use it when it supports you. Set it aside when you need space. Thank you for spending this time with me on the Cosmo Publishing Podcast. I'm your host, Gürhan, and I hope this episode helped you see email not as pressure, but as a possibility. If this episode was helpful, consider sharing it with another author who feels hesitant about email marketing. And remember, at Cosmo Publishing and Cosmodio Books, we're here to support you through every step of your publishing journey. Until next time, keep writing, keep connecting, and let trust do the selling.
Welcome to Cosmo Publishing. You just tuned yourself to the coolest place to learn all about self-publishing. We are a turnkey quality service provider, from interior formatting to custom covers and everything in between, including book marketing and advertising. It is the company that books a lot.